Alright, hello. Today we're going to do the Doctor Who monsters tier list and villains. So some of these will be bad, some of these are good. This is my overall opinion. This will be part one. This is random, so I don't know how many minutes it's probably going to be. It's probably like 5 minutes or so, but I don't know. If it's a bit longer, I'll probably split it into 2 parts. So here we go. So first of all, the Oedipus. The Oedipus is an okay monster. It's a good concept how it's like living fat, but still, it's a bit meh. To debut Donna's episode as being a companion. The next one is the Heavenly Horse. I think they're great. A good villain for Voyage of the Damned. I really enjoyed it, especially when like there were weapons, halos. Then at the end, the Doctor flew on them. Next one we've got Fear Her. It's an okay villain because it was like shows terror, shows tension. He was only in like first, only like a minute or two, but I mean like showed actual genuine fear. And he droid, fantastic. One of like the new Who like best ones had done. It was supposed to be for the weakest link, but they changed the woman with the droid, and it was so cool, especially when she got destroyed. Whatever was in the test selector, I thought these were okay. Like they were threatening enough with having like electro things, but overall, alright. Alright. The I ones, I can't remember most of these. This was from the 11th hour. Okay again. I love the ending. That's the whole point why I give it an okay. Because they barely did anything, but with the ending, how they want to. Actually, not bad, because they literally were owning a little bit of it, and they weren't as good villains. Just the moment, so it doesn't count. I thought the Romans were also bad. I didn't enjoy them. I liked the twisted were autons, but not for them being evil robots. The Autons, what a classic. These are fantastic. Loved Rose. Wish they come back. They're really, really good. The Brain ones, terrible. I did enjoy the Brain from Doctor Mysterio. Living brains, they could go inside. That was a good concept, but the execution was a bit poor and it was a bit boring. So I would say that it was not. The next one, I can't tell what it is. I just put, don't remember, don't know, because I can't see it. These, good comedic, but bad for being a natural villain monster. Cacti are making it racist. Very enjoyable episode. They were really good in it, but so I'll put it as okay, but not as good as I wanted it to be. Carianites, fantastic villains. They're really good. Shouldn't bring them back though, but it was a very, very good in that episode. Really enjoyed how they were witches. Cassandra, I have to say okay, because she was really good in End of the World, but she was okay in New Earth as possessed Rose's body. So it was alright. The cat people, would say bad, but you get a little nostalgic for them. But I would say the bad because I didn't enjoy them as much as I would because New Earth wasn't really that good. The next one, bad, I would say, because I didn't like the episode, but the monster design was good, so I'm gonna put it as okay because the monster design was great, but you didn't get enough screen time, which is what I wanted. Terrible for the child. No fault for the child's acting skills, but the villain was really, really horrible in it, and that's reason why. It was one of the reasons why it's the worst episode, in my opinion, or one of the worst episodes in the Doctor Who history. I really didn't like that one. Clockwork Droids has to be one of the best. Like, it has to be. It's really, really good. I loved the girl in the fireplace. And they were so creepy in that. And they're so creepy in Deep Breath. Bad, because they were like literally in 5 seconds of hellbent and that was it. But good design. Well, this villain was a great villain. He was like Davros's servant or executioner. Ebony Maw. No, he's not Ebony Maw. It's Marvel. I don't know what he's called, I can't remember, but he's full of snakes, and that was a good one. Fantastic villain though was the Gunslinger. The Gunslinger, so brilliant. Loved the episode time-wise. It's definitely one of my favourite season 7 stories. It's a very strong season 7. The Cubes, they were great. I would say no. Okay, because they were good at the end where they're counting down. No, actually, they are great because the mystery, like we didn't know what they were, what it meant, everything. The execution at the end was rubbish, but the Cubes in itself was a really, really good villain. Cove Scarrow, the best. I would say not the best Dalek squad because it was very unique how they could learn their enemies and how even one of them turned against them at the end. Cyber Leader, okay, could have had better potential because he was in like the last 20 minutes of the episode, but most of it was him in the chair and they just chased them up the ladder. I loved the ending though where he fell down when they cut the rope, and that was a very unique death I enjoyed. Cyber Leader, overall bad because he's literally only in 5 minutes of it, and then he just goes like, "You are our Cyber Leader," and that was the only few lines he gets. This one was a bit better, but I was still caught as bad because he was in Doomsday, and he did understand and had to fight the Daleks with Torchwood and the Doctor, which I really did enjoy, but fortunately, didn't have much to. Great. Love the concept. Love how the Time Lord Cybermen. I think that's all really, really good, but I hope they come back. That's why I'd want to great. If they were fantastic, if they come back, and they're really good now. However, the fantastic ones are definitely the Cyber Warriors. I love their design. Would say I don't know if they're the best, but I love how they take on modern and classic at the same time. Cyberheads. Okay, for what they wanted to do, they did it. They were in 2, 3, 5 minutes of it, flying around. Cyber King, love the design. Love how I had to storm around. It was a massive robot, and he wanted to kill everyone. And then we've got, looks like these are all cyber. Great, because even though they were overpowered, loved the design, loved how they could go in water and then re-upgrade themselves. The episode I really enjoyed. Nightmare Soup, I really enjoyed that episode. I loved the dynamic between the Cyber Leader in the Doctor's head and he has to talk and fight against him. Cybermats. Okay. They were in closing time and they were okay. I don't know what else to say. Oh my god. I have to put the original Cybermen from New Who the best because they just are you can't go wrong with the original Cybermen from the University days either. They're just so good and so iconic. The Beast was great in it. I liked how they called Rose and said Rose is the girl, Rose would die at war or something like that, and it hints at Doomsday and everything like that. Now this Dalek is fantastic because it's the first appearance of the Daleks in New Who, which was called Dalek, and it was one Dalek destroyed, killed several hundreds of people without anyone even knowing about it. Next one, I'd say he's alright. Dance of Spaceship, even though I don't like the episode, I do like the villain in it, but he's only good near the end, so that's why I didn't put him any higher. Loved how the character was now plays the first Doctor. Davros, fantastic. He's fantastic in the role. No, he's not fantastic. He's one of the best characters in the role. Love him in Journey's End and love him in Midges and Penders. I did think go on a bit slow, but overall his performance was great. It was very believable. You actually didn't expect the twist where he betrays him. I would say he's great. I liked how it was mystery, how he was a clockwork droid. He was I can be I can be with it, but I mean you have a good eye, and then he says, I haven't it, or I want it. Yeah. Okay. this was in Time Heist, which is a really, really good episode. And I don't know if that counts the rich one too, because they were clones. But one of the best villains in Doctor Who is the Dream Lord. He's like the Valiard in Classic Who. Like the dark version of the Doctor. He's brilliant in the role. He's brilliant. I love Amy's Choice. I think Amy's Choice is one of the best episodes of all time. But I mean, his performance in that was absolutely spectacular. I know people won't like this. Alright, I like the design. I don't like how it's like Humans Apocalypse a little bit, but I do at the same time, so that's why it's a bit weird. Now this one, I can't see what that is. Oh, it's the Eaters of Light. Bad. I didn't like the monster whatsoever. The monster was rubbish. The episode was rubbish. Actually, I could check. Oh, alright. I've just seen what it is. So this is the Faceless Ones. The Faceless Ones were great in it. So let me put it great. Just because I couldn't see it, so I couldn't see what it was. But it's definitely the Faceless Ones. Right, the next one. He's a terrible villain. Terrible, terrible, terrible. He was the worst thing in the episode. Because Chibnall went like 5 minutes or so. And you thought it could be more potential. It was just like an off switch. I love the emoji bots. I really do. I love them so much. They are great villains. Really enjoy them. Don't think they're the best. They're fantastic villains though. I like how they don't understand what sadness is, and they want to keep people happy, so they kill them. Dalek Emperor was great. I really enjoyed him in this. And I was so fierce in but Pattern of the Ways. I loved, even though people really enjoyed that episode. I didn't enjoy that episode, but I really did enjoy the Daleks in it. Empress of Mars, one of the best episodes of all time. One of the best Mark Gatiss scripts. She's really good. She's really good. Really enjoyed. I had to put in the best because I just couldn't defy that. You could like feel the emotion. You know she's a warrior. You know they're warriors. She's like a leader. So she's a leader and a soldier, and she goes to the battlefield. And she just wants to kill people, and she doesn't understand to the end that she literally lets someone go. To honor them because they want to die because they were going to get hanged. You've got the Rachnos next, which is actually not an okay, a great villain. I liked how like she manipulated Donna by getting the husband, the soon to be husband, to get the particles off her by drinking coffee. I loved her design. I loved how she was screaming when the Doctor was in the rain. Empty Child. I was terrified of this. Love the delivery. This was from the Dr. Dances and the Empty Child, which was, because that's the Empty Child. That's a very, very good episode, and a great one to be in. I can't remember her name. Oh, she was in the Oedipus. She's a very comedic character, so I'll count it as okay. She was very comedic in it, but she wasn't as strong as others. I think this is all the Family of Blood. Family of Blood, fantastic villains. I love Human Nature and the Family of Blood. I love how they're trying to find the Doctor, and so they've got the TARDIS, and John Smith doesn't know he's the Doctor. He doesn't know who the Doctor is because he turned himself into human so he could hide them because they were that dangerous. Oh, the guy off Before the Flood. Under the Lake Before the Flood, that's it. This is Before the Flood. Great villain. I loved how like it's slowly, and he killed the first person who became a ghost, and the ghosts are messages, and he caused all of it, and then he got killed by a dam. The fish vampire things. Vampires of Venice. Great episode. I will put it as fantastic because I loved the vampire fix. I loved the design. I loved how they were vampires, but they were fish, and they used to drown people, and they were all husbands, and that's why they're just like mainly the women vampires. Moths. They were a danger, but they were terrible. I hated the moths. They were just like flying. They were just like killed people, which was ferocious. But in the grand scheme of it, it was all boring. Rubbish. The Foretold, one of the best villains of all time, or monsters, when we were at 66 seconds to live. And no one could see it, so it was a very interesting premise. Really enjoyed that episode. I think it was the best episode of season 8. The Frog, terrible. I didn't like the villain at all. I didn't like what the frog was. Why did it have to be a frog? I just didn't like the episode as people did. He was a bad villain, but burn with me. I loved the quote though, burn with me. But he just walked up and was like, burn with me. So he's not a really good villain. He's just like a mindless zombie. I'm not going to count the fugitive doctor as it. So technically not a bad guy. So we've got the Savages, I think they're called, from Utopia. Very great villain. How they're hunting down the last of the human race, and they try and eat them and kill them. And one of them hijacks the place at Utopia and kills most of them. The Almost People and the Rebel Fresh. I really enjoyed these. These were fantastic villains. I loved how they were clones. You didn't know which one was which, and they had to fight against the human counterparts, and they were all dangerous. I didn't like the effects at the end of Jennifer. I thought she was a great villain. How she didn't know Gallifrey was destroyed, neither did they, but because she was a villain for the past, and the Doctor didn't even understand, and that was the future to do, which is a great episode. It's okay, the ghost one with the Christmas Carol. I thought it was alright. Like, it was a ghost possession. The first Mad Case. It was a fine episode, but it was a weakest link. A great villain for being not a villain, because she finds out that they're not evil, and he finds out that not everyone he finds in the galaxy that he has to stop are evil, and they could be good. He just doesn't understand that, the Doctor. I didn't like Twice Upon a Time, but the main antagonist we find out is a protagonist is very enjoyable. Oh, the Sentient Snow, great villain, or should we say the Great Intelligence. Loved how he brought back the Great Intelligence from the second Doctor. Loved the Snowman. Loved how he tried to manipulate the guy, and then he becomes the Great Intelligence. We've got, I can't remember what it's called. Time Zombie. The Time Zombies. I'm going to repeat myself again. They were great. I enjoyed how that was Clara and the Doctor, because of the TARDIS, and I loved the episode. Handbots. Okay. Because the main premise wasn't the handbots in the first place, so that's why it's an okay villain. Because it was a great episode, but it wasn't about the handbots, it was about Amy and how she waited for so long. Headless Monks, okay villain. Could have great potential. Loved the music that came with him. Loved how the Headless Monks had swords. We found out that they are headless, but they were underused. The Pilot was a great one for Pilot. Shows how she only follows Bill because Bill says don't leave her, and so she doesn't leave her and keeps following her, but she doesn't understand it to the end. So I love how great that is. But I'm just gonna leave it here because he's not a villain or monster. Well, he's a monster, but he's not a villain. So he's an alien. So I'll just leave it there. I'm really ranking the villains. Oh, but the Hoff, really comedic villain, really good in Little Monsters. He's better in Torchwood, but he's a very comedic villain in that one. Oh my god, the Ood, love the Ood. He was really good in the episode, but not as good as he is in the other episodes. But a really good villain either way. The love, the atmosphere and stuff. And speaking of atmosphere, the house is another great villain. Or one of the best villains, because I love how he could control anything, and then makes the corridors wide or short or small, and trick people's minds by making Rory old or Amy dead with bones and split them together. And then you got the Ood actually trying to kill them. They don't know what's real and what's fake. We've got Dalek Sek as the human. I loved how he finds out that to evolve they need the Doctor, but the Daleks don't trust him, and especially Dalek Khan. Dalek Khan kills him. I didn't like Thingy's character from Husband with a Song. It was mainly about the Doctor and Riverson's dad, again, so it wasn't that good. Even the suit, I really didn't enjoy. The Ice Warriors are a great villain. I loved Cold War, how there's only one of them in a submarine suit. I'll put it as fantastic because of it being it didn't how one of them actually helped the humans in Empress of Mars, saying that they're not dangerous and these won't, and they're trying to help them. I'm not counting Idris either. The Impossible Astronaut I wouldn't count. However, the Invisible Monster is bad. I didn't like the Invisible Monster, but it was Vincent Van Gogh, which makes everyone. That's why I made it like one of the greatest episodes. But I didn't like the Invisible Monster in the first place. I didn't enjoy the Dalek either. The Dalek in Victory of the Daleks was terrible, in my opinion. However, I really did enjoy the Doctor's anger in it, and it was mainly Matt Smith's performance than anything else. I know people are going to judge me, but I think the guy who pretends to be Trump is a great villain. Like you could show that he's the person you love to hate, and it so makes sense that in Revolution of the Daleks he joins the Daleks, so he wants to deal with the Daleks, and the Daleks don't accept it, and I think it kills him. But I mean, like, it truly understands what actually is happening. The Jaguar Fest. Well, it's not called the proper Jaguar Fest, but bad. Didn't it? Well, I love the design, but he didn't really do that much. As I would say, you just basically blew it. Was mainly Simon Pegg did everything there. The Jadoon in that episode were great. I don't know if it's the Jadoon overall. I don't think it is, but they were great in the episode. That's why I really enjoyed them. No, they just would blow up a house for one fugitive. You could see the extremes that they would have. Fantastic. I really want to come. I might not want to come back again, but I mean, maybe one last time, but not in like maybe in End of Rusty Daisy or something. The Dalek in Resolution is fantastic. I love how he has to boot them again, and how he possesses someone, takes them as a horse and controls them to get the parts they need. The Master really took the spotlight for that episode. The Cassandra was okay, but I mean, they weren't as good as the Master because the Master was mainly the plot on it. But the Misdirect, and now we focus on them first. The Kablam Man, even though they're technically not villains in it, they do kidnap people. So they were a great villain. Kablam's a great episode, or an okay episode, but the villains make it really, really good, and I really enjoyed their presence. I thought he was a terrible villain. A racist prisoner who wants to erase time. An okay concept, but not a very enjoyable villain. Maybe a little bit relatable, but really you want to hate him, but I don't think he's got enough character development to really hate. Quillotines, wow, Quillotines are great. I love how the teachers and then they eat the students, and they have like lunches to show that like there's something in the chips or something that makes them brainy, and that's like hacks the prison system or something. I can't remember. The ghosts are fantastic in it. I loved how they're not ghosts, but they're ghosts like they're just messages, and we don't find out. We find out like who caused it all in part 2, and we find out the doctor's a ghost. We go, the doctor's gonna die. The doctor's gonna die, and all this tension. We go. The dream crabs. They're okay. I like how the a dream within a dream within a dream within a dream. How just look at them. It's just a copy of Alien, really. An Inception. Bad. I did like the episode. I did like Matt Gatiss when he was human, but when he becomes the monster, it looks so terrible. The visual effects are all off. You can see the CGI is off as well. So, the Lion Man. He was bad in it. He was just like a secret person to near the end where just betrayed him, where the Shielder finds out that people are dying, and she goes, "Oh no, I'm a bad person," and he just goes, "Right, I betrayed you with this moon thing. That's why I didn't think it was good." Lorne Simon, on the other hand, is the best. Is the best Chibnall villain, I would say. First or second best Chibnall villain. So he is the best. I love the concept how he's half a Cyberman but still half human, but he's still emotionless. And now he made a cyber war and he was hunting all the humans, and then he would even agree with go with the master to kill all kind, but didn't know that he would betray him. But he's come back to Suzuki, which I really enjoy. The Macra. Okay. They were good in Gridlock, but they were a threat, but you could barely see them most of the time. Madame Cavarian, the best villain in season 6. Fantastic villain. I wish she came back though, because she's so ruthless in it. She's so good in it. I really, really enjoyed her. Now the rest of the masters. So we've got Sacha Dharan, which is a really good master. He's a great master in it. Really loved Spyfall. Really loved him in the Time as Children. Missy is also a really good one. I think I'll have to say, for even John Sim, in my opinion, is the best, but only because I was so crazy maniacal. So I think I have to put them, both of them at best, and that one just a fantastic, because he's the third best master, but David Jacoby, he's only barely in anything, but he's really good in that stuff. He's great in the role of the master for the first 5 minutes, but because he didn't know that he would be like that, because he was all innocent and then he became evil. So really enjoyed that. Max Capricorn, I'd say it's a bad villain. He's in the last 5 minutes to twist that he was on the ship and he wants to blow up the ship in the first place. So yeah. Alright, so the next one's the villain of Midnight, which I really enjoyed. I was mimicking the Doctor, and it gets all scary and tension. And then the final one, and then I think we'll go for the Minotaur next. A really okay villain. How he stormed the hotel with Magic the Shine. It was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. The Night Guy, he's a bit better, but he's still a bad villain, I would say. No, he's okay villain. He's like the lower tier list of like the one of the least okay villains, but he's okay either way. Better than the Lion King. So our final one we'll do for today is the Mondassian Cybermen. Love the Mondassian Cybermen's look. Terrifying. I would have to say they're also the best. Like, I gotta say they're the best in New Who for being a classic villain. And I love the episodes they're in. Save me, save me. That how it's all terrifying and scary. It's like one of the scariest episodes. It's definitely scariest Cybermen episode out there. So this is my tier list for part 1. So for ranking every Doctor Who villain of New Who, it's part 1. So this is a few of them. We still got lots left. So stay tuned next time.